Namaskar. Hope you are fine and taking good care of yourselves. Well, if I ask you that have you ever noticed the type of plants and trees found in your area? Do all parts of the world have same vegetation cover? No. From the time immemorial, we share this planet with millions of other living beings, starting from microorganisms, bacteria, lichens to banyan tree, big elephants and blue whale. Thus, the entire habitat that we live in has immense biodiversity. As far as India is concerned, India is one of the world's most biologically diverse country because of its varied climate and topography. It covers more than 45,000 species of flora that no other country can boast of. So today we will be doing the second chapter of your geography book, that is Forest and Wildlife Resources. We all live on the planet Earth and a unique biodiversity exists on it. Humans and other organisms form a complex ecosystem of which we all are a part. We depend on various elements of this ecosystem for our survival. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil that produces food and without which we cannot survive are some examples of it. Different types of organisms are found in different types of environment. All organisms form a specific system with their environment called ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? It is a complex, interdependent web in which each member plays an important role. It is a geographical area where plants, animals, and other organisms as well as weather and landscape work together to form a bubble of life. Ecosystem contain biotic or living organisms as well as abiotic or non-living parts. Biotic parts of ecosystem include plants, animals, and other organisms. Let us imagine a pond where fish, frog, algae, aquatic flowers, and many other aquatic organisms live. All of them are not only dependent on each other, but are also dependent on other biological components like water, air, and land. Thus, this complete system of mutually dependent and connected community in which the inorganic components and biological components are interrelated create a reciprocal system. And what is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to the variety of living species on Earth, including plants, animals, bacteria, and fungi. The term biodiversity was propounded by a scientist, Edward Wilson. If you look around, you will be able to find that there are some animals and plants which are unique in your area. India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast biological diversity. Estimates suggest that at least 10% of India's recorded wildlife flora and 20% of its mammals are on the threatened list. Many of these categories are critical, that is, they are on the verge of extinction, like the cheetah, pink-headed duck, mountain quail, forest spotted owlet, and plants like Maduca insignis. According to International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, the different categories of existing plants and animal species are categorized as normal species, endangered species, vulnerable species, rare species, endemic species, and extinct species. Normal species are those species whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survival, such as cattle, sal, pine, rodents, etc. Endangered species are those species which are in danger of extinction. The survival of such species is difficult if the negative factors that have led to a decline in their population continue to operate. Blackbuck, crocodile, Indian wild ass, Indian rhino, lion-tailed macaque, sangai are some of the examples of endangered species. Vulnerable species are those species whose population has declined and they are likely to move into the endangered category in the near future. Blue sheep, Asiatic elephant, Gangetic dolphin are examples of vulnerable species. Rare species are the species with small population that may move into the endangered category or vulnerable category if the negative factors continue to operate. Himalayan brown bear, wild Asiatic buffalo, desert fox and hornbill are examples of rare species. Endemic species are the species which are only found in some particular areas, which are usually isolated by natural or geographical barriers. The examples of such species are the Andaman teal, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig, Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. Extinct species are the species which are not found after searches of known or likely areas where they may occur. Asiatic cheetah, pink-head duck are the examples of such species. Do you know about Asiatic cheetah? Let us try to know where did they go. The cheetah is a unique and specialized member of the cat family. It is the world's fastest land mammal and can move at the speed of 112 kilometers per hour. The cheetah is often mistaken for a leopard. Its distinguishing marks are the long teardrop-shaped lines on each side of the nose from the corner of its eyes to the mouth. Prior to the 20th century, cheetahs were widely distributed throughout Africa and Asia. Today, the Asian cheetah is nearly extinct due to decline of available habitat and prey. The species was declared extinct in India long back in 1952. The forest and tree cover in the country is estimated at 79.42 million hectares, which is 24.16% of the total geographical area. Out of this, dense forests are 12.2%, open forests are 9.14%, and mangroves are 0.14%. According to the State of Forest Report 2015, the dense forest cover has increased by 3,775 square kilometers since 2013. This increase in the forest cover is due to conservation measures, management interventions, and plantations by different agencies. Now let us discuss the factors that has resulted in such fearful depletion of the flora and fauna. Man has transformed nature into a resource obtaining directly and indirectly from the forests and wildlife. Wood, barks, leaves, rubber medicines, dyes, food, fuel, fodder, manure, etc. During the colonial period, due to the expansion of railways, agriculture, commercial and scientific forestry and mining activities, great damage was inflicted on Indian forests. After independence, agricultural expansion continues to be one of the major causes of depletion of forest resources. According to the Forest Survey of India, between 1951 and 1980, over 26,200 square kilometers of forest area was converted into agricultural land all over India. Parts of the tribal belts, especially in the northeastern and central India, have been deforested or degraded by shifting cultivation, a type of slash and burn agriculture. What is shifting agriculture? Shifting agriculture is an agricultural system in which farmers cut trees and clear the land for cultivation. They also burn the uprooted trees and mix their ashes in the soil to make it fertile. After cultivation and harvesting the land, the farmers move on to other piece of land, leaving the old patch of land to regain its fertility. The promotion of a few favored species in many parts of India has been carried out under enrichment plantation. What is enrichment plantation? In enrichment plantation, a single commercially valuable species was extensively planted and other species were eliminated. For example, teak monoculture has damaged the natural forests in South India, and cheer pine plantations in the Himalayas have replaced the Himalayan oak and rhododendron forests. Large-scale development projects have also contributed significantly to the loss of forests. Since 1951, over 5,000 square kilometers of forest was cleared for river valley projects. Clearing of forests is still continuing with projects like the Narmada Sagar project in Madhya Pradesh, which would inundate 40,000 hectares of forests. Mining is another important factor of deforestation. The Buxa Tiger Reserve in West Bengal is seriously threatened by the ongoing dolomite mining. It has disturbed the natural habitat of many species and blocked the migration route of several others, including the great Indian elephant. Grazing and fuelwood collection are also the greatest degrading factors behind the depletion of forest resources. The forest ecosystems are repositories of some of the country's most valuable forest products, minerals, and other resources that meet the demands of the rapidly expanding industrial urban economy. Have you heard about Himalayan yew? The Himalayan yew is a medicinal plant found in various parts of Himachal Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. A chemical compound called taxol is extracted from the bark, needles, twigs, and roots of this tree. The plant has been successfully used to treat some cancers, and the drug is now the biggest selling anti-cancer drug in the world. The species is under great threat due to overexploitation. In the last 1 decade, thousands of yew trees have dried up in various parts of Himachal Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. Habitat destruction, hunting, poaching, overexploitation, environmental pollution, poisoning, and forest fires are factors which have led to the decline in India's biodiversity. Other important causes are unequal access, inequitable consumption of resources, and differential sharing of responsibility for environmental well-being. The destruction of forests and wildlife is not just a biological issue. The biological loss is strongly correlated with the loss of cultural diversity. Such losses have increasingly marginalized and impoverished many indigenous and other forest-dependent communities. These communities directly depend on various components of the forest and wildlife for food, drink, medicine, culture, spirituality, etc. If we talk about the women, they are affected more than men in the poor sections of society. In many societies, women bear the major responsibility of collection of fuel, fodder, water, and other basic needs. As the resources are getting depleted, the burden of women increases. Sometimes, the women have to walk for more than 10 kilometers to collect these resources. This causes serious health problems for women and negligence of home and children because of increased hours of work. The indirect impact of degradation, like severe drought or deforestation-induced floods, also hit the poor the hardest. Poverty in these cases is a direct outcome of environmental destruction. Thus, forest and wildlife are very important to the quality of life and environment in the subcontinent. Do you know that over half of India's natural forests are gone? 1/3 of its wetlands drained out, 70% of its surface water bodies polluted, 40% of its mangroves wiped out, and with continued hunting and trade of wild animals and commercially valuable plants, thousands of plants and animal species are heading towards extinction. Till now we have done biodiversity, flora and fauna in India, different categories of plants and animal species, factors or causes of depletion of flora and fauna. And now the question for you is, do you think human efforts can stop the depletion of flora and fauna? How? Hope today's session has helped you to understand the concerns related to flora and fauna. We shall soon be coming with the second part of this video. I would like to sum up today's session with the words that we have taken enough from the nature and now it's time to give. Just think over these words. See you soon. Till then, stay happy and take care of yourselves. Namaskar.